The sharing economy over the years has experienced an exponential growth curve and has been subject of considerable interest to the stakeholders and policymakers across the globe. Founder, Ask an Expert, Felix Dong, joins us to discuss the growth and benefits of sharing economy.
I'd like to know your take on the knowledge sharing economy.
The knowledge sharing economy, I think, is something that's been in existence right from time. It's we as social beings, as human beings, we're normally sharing insights, sharing experiences, sharing ideas among each other. So the concept of knowledge sharing economy from a tech perspective now, I think, is just using different tools, using different, as we have it, technology to be able to see how people can conveniently share those ideas. Looking at the likes of social media, you have the Facebooks and the Instagrams. If you actually look at it as what do they do, they're actually all knowledge sharing economies, because what you have is where people are sharing among their friends, pictures, what they're doing, experiences, and all those kind of things.
Okay, but before we proceed, I'd like you to break down the concept of sharing economy so that people can understand it better.
Well, I think it's, as people generally, we are continuously trying to grow, and we're evolving. And I think if you look at the technology space and where things have evolved from the industrial age to the information era. So in the information era, we saw the likes of the internet giving a boost into the people having access to information, and that has actually enriched the manner in which new ideas and new initiatives or visions have been built, generally globally. So outside that now, from the information era, we're seeing that it's an aspect of now where collectively as people, sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, it's a cross to where, that iron sharpened iron kind of perspective. Those things will bring a lot of boost towards more creativity, enlightening how productivity, timeliness, effectiveness, and just improving as individuals would have it.
Can the sharing model make a difference in Nigeria? And I say this because I need to see how people can make money from it, or how it can be profitable for Nigerians.
It's actually, I think, very instrumental for us, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa in general, because we have such a huge gap where it comes to those that have and don't have, or those that have the knowledge and don't have the knowledge in terms of educational systems and government and its populace. And also in Nigeria especially, I think it's come to a time where we do have access to a lot of resources using the internet and all those kind of things, but for us to be able to productively engage and let's say act as a catalyst towards building our nation as a collective, it's essential where some form of handholding has to happen. And so if you look at the past few years, where we have a lot of things like in terms of the leadership drives, where a lot of talk is about leadership, a lot of talk is about entrepreneurship and mentorship and all that, it's because all those things are part of like knowledge sharing. Because where you have some people that are established and succeeded in certain things, it only makes sense, to guide, the younger folk especially, or those that haven't been that path. And that is enriching, and I think especially in Nigeria, the value is astronomical generally in terms of what we foresee happening if people can actually engage in that productively.
Why did you choose this very young industry? I mean, there are lots of other industries you could have chosen. What exactly is your reason?
Well, that's an interesting question, because I don't really look at it as an industry yet, of course, in Nigeria where we sit. And I think significantly that's why we've come up with solutions like Ask an Expert. It's an essential need or a necessity right now where we are as a people in Nigeria. I think it's a time where, as a collective few, we need to see how we can engage each other. Let conversations productively happen. With Ask an Expert, for instance, it's a tool where it just enables people to connect to experts in different fields, to be able to get insights, consultation, mentorship, coaching, and just the right information at the right time, we see things like where people can be more productive, it can save time, it can build more efficiency, and especially because of our general demographics where we have a bigger, younger population, there's that need for people to hold their hands. The millennial age now, they're very curious, and they're a curious bunch. They're tech savvy, they're mobile driven,
very daring.
They're very daring. So that's why we've modeled it as a mobile app and all that. Using current models and trends that have already been proven to be able to help that engagement, those conversations, and those insights. Because I think it can act as a catalyst for actually building our nation, and we do want that conversation to happen.
Would you consider yourself a startup?
Personally, I would say as a project is, yes, we are a startup. It's been very, very challenging. Just navigating the waters around in Nigeria as you have it. But I'm quite optimistic and I'm quite positive that whatever stage we are or can be defined as, the issue is really overlooking that and focusing on the fact that it's an essential need to bring such solutions like Ask an Expert into our own narrative to be able to help engagement productively.
With so many people working on so many startup ideas these days, it is difficult to know if anyone is already disrupting your startups.
With Ask an Expert, for instance, again, I was surprised where there are some similarities as they would have it. Like I said, it's an on-demand private messaging solution. So it's not where one is trying to just come up with a solution just because everybody, like a fad, like where everybody is coming up with solutions and trying to be in that space. You understand? But it's actually looking at essential solutions. So if you look at technology, and what does technology do? It's actually an enabler that the objective, so for instance, let's say the foreigners or let's say Americans or whatever, don't celebrate the concept of, oh, it's a rocket. The aspect is, the objective is that they need to get to the moon. And that's really where we need to focus on as a collective people.
So
that
we're making a mistake now.
So no, we're not making a mistake. Well, I'm just saying where we can focus on the overall objective. So for us, a solution like ours, we're looking at where, let me give you an example, someone in Sokoto, for instance, a young boy that's trying to start a business, can actually engage someone in Lagos. And with that mental picture of engaging someone productively in Lagos that is more experienced, more enriching, would help that person within their own community just drive production, drive creativity, and drive actual progress within that person's locality. So imagine that happening. So the tool itself, as Ask an Expert, is just an enabler, and the testimonies we want to see and the yardsticks we've put for us as a team is really having those conversations and seeing that those conversations are actually working.
Tell me about some of your challenges.
Well, there's been, I think I've grown to really expect challenges. You just realize that, of course, when we started this journey, I never anticipated it to take us up to 2 years to build such a solution and all that. There's been so many, how would I put it, so many obstacles that have come up along the way, but it's helped us generally look critically, especially me, as the visionary behind it. It's helped me always be my worst critic in terms of really getting back to ask myself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I trying to keep on with this? So challenges apart from, of course, generally, as funding and the support required for that has been a tough narrative, but that's not an excuse. We've still moved ahead beyond that. But apart from that, is also with the expert community, being able to actually sell this value proposition to them, because I think they're the critical elements of where our solutions can actually deliver that value that we're promising. So being able to reach out to those communities productively, being able to get them on board to buy into this vision is also a very essential requirement for Ask an Expert.
Felix, I want to thank you for being on TechFest today.
Thank you so much, CF.
I wish you all the best with Ask an Expert.
Thank you so much.
That's it for our show today. Do follow us on social media. This edition, as well as the previous ones, can be seen on the channel's TV, YouTube account, or via my blog, techsmart.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwuemeka Agbata.